yes, I've been expecting you. Haven't we? Hi, it's that YouTube video that you find after scrolling through YouTube, watching random videos for the last hour and a half, and now you got to the weird side of YouTube and you don't know how you got there. Hello everybody and welcome to part 5 of DelTalks, and I'm the one and only Derek, here to give you the most in-depth, knowledgeful experience from my own personal experiences from my 2015 adventures out in the US. And this video podcast talks about each part. For those who don't know, for those who are new and just joining, it's just talking about my experiences from my small town here in the UK all the way to my big first time amazing experience out in the US. And we're going from starting from part 1 was the paperwork and the journey through that, and then now we're into part 5, which is pretty much now we're in the depth of camp life now. We're living it up, we're having a ball, we're having a grand old time, and now it's time for us to move on, edging towards the central part of camp. Wrapping up sessions, and also big, really big scary experiences which involved maybe just on the edge of a hurricane of some sort, which was a mind-blowing experience to us all. But hey, we're about to cover that in this episode, or should I say this unknown part of the series, which is part 5. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Welcome back, so everybody, hello to my favourite wonderful human beings out there, and I appreciate you coming back to watch me once more. Sending out the love to you all. Anyway, so catching up on things now, of course, you know, for those who have just joined or whatever, you know, we started off in our small town here in the UK, we've done the paperwork, we've got on our flight, we touched down, it's our first time in the US, we're having an absolute great time, and now we're in the depth of day-to-day, immersed in the day-to-day camp life, making new friends, getting immersed into all the fun experiences, all the cultural experiences too, like the chefs cooking their own recipes on our special days, also me being the cool kid on the block, you know, dressing up as barn man at introduction campfires and making people laugh, and you know, just making new friends and being a part of the camp community. It was amazing. And even though I was kind of more of a background role, you know, I still played a massive part alongside the counsellors and the bosses, as well as the photographers and all that, and everyone plays their part, you know. And the whole point of camp is, you know, to have fun as well as the safety and being well looked after, of course. And everyone did an amazing job at that, and that it was incredible. Like, everyone played their part. Like, yes, it was overwhelming at times, but you know, these things happen and it's okay. You know, that things, I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay to feel, you know, under a lot, because of the fact that, you know, you're doing so much work, and even though like it doesn't feel like much, it is a lot in the long term, and it can be, and it was difficult. Like, I admit there were difficult times, there were hard times, like you know, stressing out because, you know, you've got a big class to teach today, and you know, we're gonna have to get in and prepare pretty much all the horses, and obviously figuring out, you know, who can pair up with who and who can ride who, because obviously some horses were there for the advanced riders, whereas trying to figure out personally, you know, which ones were which, and that was that. And then of course, you know, and then around that, you know, of course there was a nightmare, I remember, with like all the saddles, like getting the right size for each horse. That was fun. But But yeah, you know, it's just, that's kind of, I'm just talking about my area there. Of course, there were a lot elsewhere, you know, like getting like the campus, their activities day to day, and a lot of work there. And of course, you know, campus getting homesick as such, but you know, they had the great help there, and our counsellors did amazing work. Even though I wasn't there, I know that they were doing amazing work, because like I could tell, because you know, when I would go to and from places, I'd see, you know, my fellow colleagues, you know, working hard and putting up with all kinds of mischievous things, and it was very sweet and very wholesome at the same time. And again, like, I don't want to be repetitive. Like, I had like many of my moments that I'm proud of too. Like, I did my part, whether it's helping campers or counsellors, singing camp songs while giving trailer rides, very wholesome moments. And of course, you know, people taking the mick at mocking my accent, which of course I was cool with, because it's kind of amusing when people do that in my eyes anyway. But yeah, it was wholesome. There were a couple of moments where, you know, I kind of didn't feel appreciated. Like, you know, I kind of had some disrespectful moments between like people who I didn't really wrong or anything. Like, I tried, you know, to not be negative towards anyone really, even if I was in my worst scenario. And you know, I wanted to like inspire and kind of put that out to other people. I mean, I didn't, like, I don't know how to put it. Should I say I didn't, like, you know, stress people out or whatever, but I mean, yeah, I say stupid stuff, but you know, I'm an idiot, you know, sometimes, and I admit that. But I'm weird and unusual, and you know, I'm a unique personality, and that was the good thing about camp, is that, you know, you can be who you are. You can wear wacky outfits, you can wear long socks, you can wear unmatching clothes, and you know, you wouldn't get judged. And it was a judgment-free zone, you know, and like, some of the outfits like I wore was even crazy, especially trying to hide my tattoos. I'd like have a random torn off sleeve trying to hide this, and then I'd have like long socks because all my jeans were in the wash. So I had like 3/4 and long socks because I was like trying to hide, and it was a nightmare because the flies were biting me. Oh my goodness. And it was hot. Oh, it was so much. But yeah, there was like, you know, I always did my best and put 100% effort in at all times, even if I couldn't, you know. And yeah, it was very fun experiences. There were very like cool moments, awesome moments, like going fishing on the lake, learning how to use a power boat, like little. It was a little dinky boat with a motor, but it went fast. I had so much fun on that. I was like, I was just like going for it, just doing circles in the lake, just like, this is awesome. And then obviously dropping it off where it needed to go, because I was taking it to one side of the lake to the other. So that was fun. And also driving my tractor from one camp to another to pick up the trailer. That was awesome. And of course, yeah, I know I had my lone wolf moments where, you know, I wanted to catch up on myself and just chill out and like just let my mind just breathe. Let my head just relax and everything with everything that was going on, because it, like I said, it's overwhelming stuff sometimes, but you know, it's all for the greater good, and you know, you get so much out of it, like here and here, you know, and it's a learning experience, you know, and even though, yeah, you make mistakes, that's okay, because you know, it comes back, and you know, you learn from it, and then you do better next time and all that stuff. And wow. So there's just like so much there, like, and I'm trying to but we're kind of rolling through July now, you know. It gets emotional because, you know, you're saying goodbyes, you're having those campfires, shows are being put on, like midway we had shows with the horses, that was amazing because I gave up so much time for them to do that, and it was one of my proud dad moments, where basically, you know, I gave up my time to let them practice, to obviously keep an eye on and make sure things were safe and all that, health and safety, you know, and of course looking out for them, and they put on one hell of a show, and I was proud of that. I also, obviously, I was meant to do a talent show, but yeah, I kind of ended up singing Hey There Delilah after that show in front of a bunch of people. There's lots of public speaking and public things that I thought I'd never do, and I did, and that kind of gave me the confidence like where I am now, and it's incredible really. And yeah, a lot of things like that I do now are like inspired me from like camp and all that, and it's great. Like I don't judge, I don't, you know, everyone's different, everyone's unique, but inside, you know, as a whole we're all the same. And that's how really I see things. Like, you know, I don't care about tags or whatever, you know, or whatever labels people put. I mean, I respect, like, you know, I'm respectful towards everyone, and yeah, obviously people don't know that about me, so, you know, sometimes people come down harsh on me, but yeah, I don't mean to, you know, come across like that. I'm a friendly guy. and then I'm not faking that, you know, and yeah, but yeah, so there were times, yeah, like I said, judgment-free zone, like at camp and all that, but anyway, cracking on. There were times, what was it, like I spent one of my days off watching a Lion King play. That was awesome, and very amusing too. I knew a couple of people that were in that, a couple of the campers that were in that, and of course one of my friends who was blanking me for whatever reason, but yeah, I don't know, we were talking and then she decided to stop talking to me because I think she was like I don't know what it was, but I tried to clear the air and say sorry and all that, but yeah, it was, I don't even know, but hey, it was what it was. But eventually, you know, we hung out eventually again and things were normal, but I was like, hey, cool story, you know. But hey, yeah, so Lion King play was awesome. There were many other like little events going on, and big events where the whole camp were like running around. I think it's like the red and green days, the white and green days, where everyone would be like taking part in day-to-day activities. My bomb, an activity was meant to take part in my area, but it didn't in the end, so that kind of made life easier. But it was amazing to see, obviously, a lot of people like take part, and everyone got involved. And sometimes I was, obviously, my role kind of took me away from a lot of these experiences where everyone was getting involved, so I kind of sometimes did feel left out because of that, but I wasn't too bothered. But you know, it's nice to know that I could have been involved if I wanted to, so that's always a good feeling. But yeah, so obviously there was amazing delicacies. I mean, going out for Wendy's, a cheeky Wendy's every now and then, you know, chilling out in hotels, spending time with friends, going to the cinema with friends, eating out at the local Irish bar, as well as the ice cream parlour nearby. There was so many so many awesome things. And then it comes down to, of course, like I said, the emotional times where, you know, saying goodbye to campers for the session, and of course goodbye campfires. There was a beautiful canoe show and other final things, as like awards evenings and all that, thanking people for, you know, all the help they gave, and for meeting them. And it's been, you know, it was great, like getting to know them and all that kind of stuff, and emotional saying goodbye to everyone. So yeah, it does render me speechless when I think about it, and I'm trying to like remain calm, because like I would, obviously, you know, you don't know if you probably won't even really see some of these people. Like you probably like catch them maybe once in a while, but I mean, you know, me being thousands of miles away, like it's hard to, you know, especially like with the colleagues like I worked alongside, it's hard, you know, you won't really see them again unless, you know, you're in town, which is every now and then, because, you know, I'm not rich. It's not like I could go see my fellow colleagues every now and then, but I have, so yeah, but we get to that. And yeah, so obviously the session 2 kind of rolled in with its own unique days, and a whole bunch of new faces and whatnot, and it's kind of similar thing, you know, there was and of course the massive storm, the massive storm, which was awful. A lot of trees got taken down, like 300 plus trees, and that was only in the camp area. It was crazy, and like lots of things got destroyed. We had to like, it was a scary moment for all of us, but you know, in the worst experience, we came through and like we bonded together and we put aside everything and we got camp up and running eventually. Thankfully, none of the campers were there when this storm happened, thankfully, but it was a lot of drama we got out our axes. I was a lumberjack for a week and we just chopped and dragged logs and got trees out the way, and companies came in to mend. My hay barn was gone. There was a tree in my barn. There was fences broken. The horses escaped. Oh my goodness, the drama was real. And it was really intense. It was an emotional moment. I wasn't as scared at first, but then I was like really scared because I was like, okay, this is actually really serious because it's a big thing. And but yeah, I was just curious. I think I just was curious in total, but yeah, in the end, you know, we came together, we repaired, like I repaired all my fences in my area mostly, and with help from the team, and we did our parts, and we got everything up and running just about. And there was one activity that wasn't running, but eventually, you know, we had lost power, and then the power came back on in a matter of days, thankfully. So it was a difficult time, but again, like, you know, we stuck together and we got through, and thankfully, you know, the storm was just, it never happened. I mean, it did because you could tell it damage, but hey, you get the gist. And yeah, so that was a big thing, but thankfully, you know, when the campers came, everything was running fine. And yeah, there was another little storm that happened which ruined the firing range, the little firing range that they had in the middle of camp, which was interesting because that poor range got a lot because it was like literally like it was fine, it got repaired, and then it got destroyed again. Yeah. poor firing range. But anyway, so yeah, eventually, you know, it did get up and running again, but it was what it was, and it kind of got to the stages now, you know. Again, the day-to-day life is running. You know, I think there were some like dramas, you know, people kind of walking away because they were finding it difficult. And I will say some people did leave somewhat early because of obviously struggling to, you know, cope with everything going on. And it's okay, like, but I one of the big things is if it gets too hard, it will get over, like I said, but just before it does get overwhelmed, but do not walk away from it. Like, honestly, you will regret it if you do. Like, it won't feel like that in the moment, but when you do, you will regret it. And honestly, just do what you can. Just speak to someone, or I don't know, speak to a friend, or whatever you can do, like even to family back home or whatever, because, you know, it's your adventure and it's your own personal adventure, and, you know, you want to make the most of it. And of course, this is just one of the wholesome experiences that you will face, and it will give you so many benefits after that, you know, and literally like so many great friendships and so much more. Like, even if you're not really good at making friends, like, there will be someone there who will want to be friends with you, okay? And there's always people there around you. And so, yeah, again, yeah, there was a lot there, but, you know, I had some good times. I did have a couple of breakdowns personally myself, I have to admit. I won't lie about that, but, you know, pulled through all right. But yeah, like I was going to say, the living quarters was fun. I was sleeping in a bunk bed. People were probably getting annoyed about my 10 alarms every morning, don't blame them. And the amount of times that, like I said, running down to the barn with my pants on backwards, and by that I mean my trousers, my joggers, my comfies. And yeah, also, like I said, big cool awesome moments like paint parties and doing trail rides and many other things. Just so many things happened, but it was great. And I loved like all the special days, you know, giving trailer rides, until like my tyre burst, because I didn't want to disappoint anyone, and I was like, oh, it's okay, it will still roll when it's flat. And of course I still have a shredded part of that tyre now. And also, one of the coolest things is seeing the American eagle. Oh my goodness, majestic creatures they are. American eagles are awesome. And again, yeah, so many awesome experiences. And also, yeah, I shot some hoops. There was bit of basketball on the side too, you know, just doing whatever to keep entertained, and also watching films in the staff room, and of course sharing my music knowledge and sharing British chocolate with my American counterparts and all that, and sharing so many stories, and of course with friendship bracelets getting passed around and whatnot. It was just a whole bunch there. I know I'm going bouncing here, there, everywhere. It's just hard because there's trying to not drag it out and try and be short and sweet about it is what I'm trying to do. You know, I can talk about this one thing like and everything that happened all day, every day. But yeah, so now we're kind of ending towards the end of session 2. You know, it's emotional, and the emotional part about this as well is because, you know, you're saying goodbye and there's no campers coming back, and you're saying, and it's crazy because when they go, you know, you say your goodbye, you get your bus notes and your last friendship bracelets and all that, and it's really emotional because it's over already. It's crazy. Where did all this time go? You know, I went from setting up camp and now like the campers are come and gone. Like, wow, that's like 8 weeks just over like that. That's crazy. And it's really weird. It's so weird because like all the happy screaming and all the shouting is gone. And one of the other emotional parts is when you start saying goodbye to your American colleagues. A lot of this who are university students or college students going to go home to go to college. It's crazy, and it was very emotional. Of course, this was one of the last photos that we all got together, the star photo at the end of summer that we take. It was crazy, and that's the first one we took as well. And of course, this was in between as such. And those are from Panama. So, but these ones like here, just these middle three, and well, that was on the road. That's the paint party. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and saying goodbye to all these people, it's crazy. Because, you know, it wasn't really a goodbye because you knew that hopefully one day, like on the road, you would see them again, and I have done with a handful of them, but it was emotional. And of course, I'm saying like a temporary goodbye is always hard, especially like you're going to miss, you know, the adventures you had with them, the memories you shared, but you'd always cherish them and all that. And yeah, that's what it was. And it was weird because obviously, you know, the rotas were set for the next camps that were coming up. So there's after the summer you get family camp, tennis camp, and I can't remember, I think it's a couple of other camps on both sides, and I was partaking in family camp, and of course I was still maintaining my role because the horses weren't leaving I think it was on for another week. So of course, it wasn't far off coming to the end of my summer contract before I was out there on the road traveling America. But at the end of the day, I was so nostalgic about excuse the background noises. I was so nostalgic. I don't know. I was just stuck in a state where I was like, I can't believe how quiet it is, and you know how much I miss, you know, the people who have gone and all that. And it was really difficult. Because obviously we were moved to a different quarters, and it was really sad. But of course, a good kind of sad, you know, and that's how it was. You know, we said goodbyes and all that stuff, and yeah, you know, working alongside some of the greatest women ever. You know, they were wonderful people, friendly, all kind. I mean, some of them were tough skinned, some of them came across more friendly than others, even though they were all friendly as a whole. But they were all wonderful people, and honestly, like, if I could work alongside anyone any day, it would be, you know, that crew. But there, despite all our differences, and despite me being one of the few guys around, of course there was the great Frank, there was Jonathan, the bar manager before me who worked in the kitchen this summer. There was Liam on the sale end of things, and a couple of others there as well, and it was emotional. And the awkward thing was, a bit of last minute drama that happened was, we was going to invest in a van to go on our travels, and then ended up getting screwed over. That was fun. So I was $200 out of pocket before my travels started, so that was fun. But hey, I'll tell you how we managed later on in the day. But just to give you a heads up, we'll talk about family camp in our next episode, and then how I plan my travels, and then we will start my on the road adventure, how I went from Minneapolis down the central, down the centre, all the way back up East Coast, and then flying out a month later from New Jersey. So there's lots of like things to talk about and tell you and share with you, and it's my privilege and my absolute fond love to share. Because sharing is caring, y'all, and and all the knowledge, and hopefully, you know, this, you know, you can take something on and pretty much, how should I say, take it on and, you know, kind of use it to your beneficial. So like how to save money, what to use, where to go, and all that kind of stuff. So there's lots there, but and of course sharing the camp experience. And for those who are unsure, honestly, I regret not doing it sooner. That's my overall basis. I wish I could have done it sooner. I wish COVID didn't happen so I could have done it again. And I still want to do it again, but I mean, who knows? I don't know if it'll happen again, but maybe. But it was great. And I'm disappointed I didn't go back the following year, because, you know, I would have worked alongside some of the people who helped with me at the barn, and of course it's difficult, because like it's all I think about like every summer, because I know that I could be there, you know, I could be looking after my horses and seeing the greatest friends and spending time with the greatest friends ever. And I'm not dissing my actual friends here, because I do love my friends here too. I'm just, of course, this is just this is, you know, you get the gist, but I love you all, really. But yeah, so I'm just going to wrap up on that, but I hope you enjoyed that. And if there's anything you want to know, I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you watching it all the way. So, and I appreciate any likes, subscribe, share, recommend. And hey, if you wanted to talk about camp or whatever, then, or American adventures, or South America or North America or the Americas, then whatever, you know, I'm here. So yeah, so it's been a pleasure so far, and we look forward to speaking about our next part 6. Part 6 will be on the way, guys. So take care, have a lovely week, and peace out.